Good morning. This is the Gary Sansing Public Forum for May 20th, 2021. Please turn your cell phone to the vibrate, silence, or off setting. The Gary Sansing Public Forum is intended for matters not included on the agenda for the upcoming Board of County Commissioners meeting. Citizens wishing to address items on the agenda should sign up to speak to such item on the regular Board of County Commissioners meeting. Speakers shall refrain from abusive or profane remarks, disruptive outbursts, protests, or other conduct which interferes with the orderly conduct of the Gary Sansing Public Forum. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes unless otherwise determined by the chairman. Our first speaker this morning is Megan Walters.
Good morning, Commissioners. Megan Walters, Cantonment, Florida. I'm going to try my best to talk quickly and efficiently so that I stay on my 3-minute mark. But first of all, Mr. Burgosh, I wanted to thank you for removing me from MTAC because for this first time in my adult life, I am not a public servant, and it is the most freeing thing in my life, and it has been amazing. So I just want to thank you for that. And I know there was some confusion on MTAC, Mass Transit, or the Marine Advisory, but you took the time to write me a personal letter, and thank you for my time, and so did you, Ms. Gilley, and that really says something about your leadership qualities, and it really meant a lot to me. Mr. Berry, my phone has been hacked, and my texts aren't going in, and the text that I sent you, it's not going through, but if you could take the time to let me know about that proclamation that we discussed. Mr. Bender, I've already talked personally with you about PTSD Awareness Month. Mr. Underhill, I have not spoken with you, but I spoke with your aide, Mr. Owens. He said that he would pass on the information. Mr. May's not here. The reason why I came to talk to y'all today is because June is National PTSD Month, Awareness Month, and I have PTSD. I got it from working here in Escambia County, and I'm very passionate about it. Anybody who knows me knows I love public safety, and it is the heart of what I advocate for. I was a dispatcher, and dispatch is the heart of public safety. So, with that being said, public safety and PTSD go hand in hand. Our community has PTSD. We have gone through flooding, we've gone through the Bay shooting, we've gone through hurricanes. When I started counseling, my counselor told me that she has never encountered somebody in all of her 30 years who has gone through so much trauma. And I said, you need to meet all my friends. Anyways, I've got a lot of events going on for the month of June for PTSD Awareness Month, and I wanted you as the commissioners to publicly be aware. I have been working with Interim Public Safety Director Eric Gilmore, Billy Shipp, Chief Williams, and Chief Craner over at Pensacola Fire Department, and I have local businesses. And as they do for the month of October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we have local businesses that are going to be giving all firefighters and all EMS shirts to wear throughout the month of June for PTSD Awareness Month. Also, we're going to be doing some bridge painting events at the Graffiti Bridge. We're going to have a meet and greet that we're working on at the 5 Barrel. Grizzly Axes, do y'all know what that is over there on Davis? And they have the Rage Room. We got a meet and greet there. We would love for you guys to come. And then our final thing that we will be doing that I would like to send all of y'all a personal invitation to right now is we're going to be doing a Denim and Rhinestones Gala on Saturday the 26th at 6 p.m. at Pensacola Interstate Fairgrounds. You guys will all be getting a personal invitation, but part of what we are doing, and I'm doing all of this because there is a project called the Second Alarm Project. They're based out of Tallahassee, and they're moving here to Pensacola in Escambia County, and they've been working. Are you familiar with that? I don't know if y'all are, but I actually have all of their information for each one of y'all, and I wrote your names on the envelopes because for each one of y'all, so somebody could do that for me. I don't think Mr. Gilmore's here yet. Anyways, yep. That was what I wanted to tell you guys. It is a beautiful day in Escambia County. I was talking to the deputies out there. How about it that Escambia is finally in national news for something positive? All right?
That's right.
So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. Stay in it and be blessed.
Megan, I have a question for you. What is the name of the organization that's going to sponsor the dinner at the fairgrounds? Is that?
There's multiple businesses. I'm still in the works of that because what I'm trying to do is to have it as little cost as possible.
Sure.
So I'm still negotiating with people.
Is there a 501c3 associated with
that?
Your
Is actually what the fairgrounds is, and most people aren't aware of that.
No, I'm talking about the PTSD thing.
Second Alarm Project is in the process of working on getting all of that stuff through the Tallahassee.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Meg. Michael Lowry.
Good morning, Commissioners. Mike Lowry, President and Business Agent of ATU Local 1395. I wasn't going to come today, but after thinking through this, I decided I would. In 2018, the Amalgamated Transit Union saw a trend that was happening across this country and in Canada where bus operators were being assaulted. So they created House HR 1139, which was the Transit Workers and Pedestrians Protection Act, and it was sponsored in Congress. It didn't make it through Congress yet. In the fall of 2018, in December, a man named Thomas Dunn went in front of the Hillsborough Area Regional Transit Board and talked about the fear that he was facing with all his fellow transit workers of being aggressively pursued by passengers. Just 5 months later, a crazed passenger that rode his bus every day, came up to him and slit his throat and killed him while he was driving the bus. That immediately, he left behind a wife and small children. That immediately then started a new trend. In June of 2018, the board in Tampa created a symposium which transit systems all across the state of Florida attended, including ECAT, the transit director, and myself. There was supposed to be some action, a plan of action by all the transit systems. Most transit systems took an action. They got bus compartment barriers into their buses to protect the bus operators and the riders that ride the buses. That didn't happen here. In July of 2018, I began sending emails over and over to the administrator, Ms. Gilley, and to the transit management that showed reports of transit attacks across the United States and Canada. That didn't happen either where I even got a response in many ways. Yes, a report was given by the transit director to all of you regarding this, and it was said that it was something we shouldn't worry about here in Escambia County. What happened after that is in the spring of 2020, a bus operator, and I have a picture of the crazed passenger that came up to him while he was driving the bus here in Escambia County, his fist clenched, ready to fight. But fortunately for him, the passengers intervened and stopped, and a bad fight ensued on that bus, not involving the driver. I've reported to you harassment, and I'm almost done. I've reported to you harassment of bus operators, a female bus operator, sexual comments being made to a female bus operator. You should ask this question. This is the question you should be asking. That passenger was trespassed, not because of his comments made to the passengers, to the bus operator, but to another passenger. He had an incident that I believe could have been violent in nature. He's been trespassed for 90 days. This administration has ignored just creating a committee to create a plan to report back to you, a plan of action to protect the bus operators, the riders, and the citizens of the community. That's unacceptable. Commissioner May, by the way, you supported, under the CARES Act, you made a comment on this dais that you, sir, supported putting barriers on the buses. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Not a problem, I still support it.
Melissa Pino?
Melissa Pino, 413 Southeast Boblets. Most of you should be in receipt of an email that I sent last night. Commissioner Underhill, you can go ahead and receive a copy, and if you want to do your theatrics of the questions that I've typed out there and throw it in the trash, everybody usually gets a kick out of that. My email last night addressed the broad strokes of our current public safety crisis, and it is a crisis, and it is current. This administration cannot hide anymore with smoke and mirrors the situation of our public safety. And in particular, I called out the irony of Jacqueline Rogers and Doug Underhill calling for the citizens to come down here with pitchforks when, in effect, they're two of the worst actors in bringing our EMS system to where it is now. Because Jacqueline has been in receipt of documentation, evidence, and information about what's really going on in that department for a long time, and she refuses to bring it forward for political reasons. Commissioner Underhill came to the county with a plan to coup it through public safety. Congratulations, sir. Behold the fruits of your labor. I realized this morning that there were questions that need to be asked. Every public and elected official in this county, every citizen, and every media person should be asking the following questions. I'm going to have to read them with one eye because I broke my glasses. Why was the current medical director really hired to begin with? Why did the county administrator put a consultant in charge of public safety and refuse to interact with any of the rank and file members of EMS? Why did the past public safety director really leave the county abruptly? Why does the current HR director of the county retain that position when it is well known that she was visiting the public safety building to liaison with the past EMS chief? Why was an EMS first responder rewarded with the Employee of the Month a couple of months ago, not long after failing his marijuana test, rather than being appropriately disciplined? Is it actually true that the replacement for the past AHA supervisor, who is currently up on criminal charges for falsifying certifications, got caught in the same activity? And that's not to say the past gentleman was doing it. He's innocent until proven guilty. But the new guy wasn't disciplined in the same manner, and instead he was allowed to return to the road. Why do some first responders who have been found operating without current certifications not have a DOH complaint in against it? Who gave the order not to staff the night shifts at EMS with medics? Why are they only running ALS trucks in the day? Who decided that? Why has Escambia County fallen off of availing itself of the mutual aid agreement with Santa Rosa Lifeguard? Why has there been no discussion of the suit Dr. Edler brought against the county? Why is Janice Gillies still administrator of Escambia County since she has failed in her most important public trust? If I may,
Melissa.
just one, Chairman Bender, I
Thank you,
I
Melissa.
left one off, may I?
Thank you, Melissa.
Just one?
Please sit down.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kevin Wade?
Kevin Wade, 413 Southeast Boblets. Following on that, how did Janie Brissett get her job? Seeing as she was the investigator? Yeah. You know, I wanted to come up here last few meetings and say some thank yous. You know, this, the namesake of this forum now, Gary Sansing. You know, amazing guy. He'd step on up, and he always had a long list of thank yous and then recommendations. And thank you to Chip Simmons and the Escambia Sheriff's Office and the way that y'all went ahead and put the face of some aspects of safety of Escambia County in national news with a well-spoken, good face, you know? I had family from across the nation contact me saying, hey, Escambia County's in the news again. And yeah, might be a good thing, at least showing how we could scramble over crisis sometimes. Looking at the scramble that this Marbut character wants to bring, like, what, corral the homeless, take away funding for faith-based institutions. That should scare a lot of the churches in the area. There's a lot of people who have jobs that allow them to be getting paid to help with situations for people who are down on their luck, who have become victims themselves and trying to find a way to get a leg up. But this Marbut, you know, He's a little dog. Little dogs can be mean too. Big dogs, all the big dogs I know, happy-go-lucky Labrador retrievers. You know, get a pack of Labrador retrievers and you're going to get a bunch of smiles from a whole lot of people saying, that's a bunch of good dogs. That character, people need to go listen to what he was saying and all of his dog whistles and his need to go ahead and corral the homeless in silos. Yeah, and what's that building on Palafox? How many millions are going to go into remediation on something like that? Please, y'all, stay away from him and the city's need to bring in and pay somebody like that for their horrible dystopian round up the homeless in little camps. That's no, I know y'all are smarter than that, please.
Thank you, Kevin. Anything else for the good of the whole? We're adjourned.